All right, we are live. Ooh, and I should do this on Facebook as well, shouldn't I? Should we go on Facebook? We should go on Facebook. Hold on one second. Okay, we're now streaming also on Facebook. So we're on Zoom, we're on Facebook, we are good to go. So thanks for joining us, everyone. It's Melanie Nelson here, Director of TLS Sales, and we're coming to you on a TLS Tuesday with yet another, so exciting, Coach the Coach interview. And I just want to say a huge congratulations to our newest certified TLS coach, Nicole, who obviously showed some dedication, some commitment, and some discipline to, I always think the toughest part of becoming the certified coach is the paperwork. And so we do go on that. And for those of you who maybe didn't see the recognition we put on the Facebook group, Nicole is in the New York area. She is a proud mother and a elementary school teacher. She is a lover of food and the Lord, and obviously TLS. So welcome, Nicole. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so excited to have you. Now, you're an executive coordinator with the business, and obviously there was something about TLS that drew you in to want to major in it and help other people with the program. What is it about TLS that you love?
Well, I like that it has a system, honestly. You can pre-select, and there are many systems and teams and many plans out there. And I like that you can adopt it and customize it to someone. So that's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. The customization is a huge part of who we are. And now when you started adopting the TLS lifestyle, what were some changes you saw for yourself?
Well, I think the biggest part was I like to eat vegetables, so that's not a big deal. But thinking about how much I'm eating and the quantity, and knowing that, there's certain quantities that sort of work better with your system than just knowing that you plop it in your plate. So I think that was a big one. So that was something that I adopted more. But it was an easy transition for me. However, it's great because when I speak with someone, I can pass on that information and they go, yeah. So that's one thing I adopted.
Right on, right on. And so obviously you were health orientated and living a healthy lifestyle before you found TLS, which is part of why it was such a fit for you.
Well, partially, and also because everyone assumed that's what I was doing. They already assumed that I was, I'm either vegan or I'm this, I'm that, or they look at me and they judge based on what they see, judging of the fights covered, which at first pushed me away from it because, it just seemed like a thing. But eventually, I think what drew me to it was it seemed natural. And then it also allowed me to connect with people because it wasn't just about weight loss. It was also about their health, period. So once I decided to make that connection, it made it easier to see that it transcends everything.
Right on. Yeah, definitely. We're a health program. We just have weight loss in the name because most people don't buy health programs, they buy weight loss programs. So, we market them what they need and give them what they, or market what they want, but give them what they need, is what I always say. And that's a really important thing in marketing, but truly, the lifestyle of TLS is just that. It's about our health lifelong. So that's awesome. Now, how did you market yourself to create your customer base, Nicole?
I think a lot of it was detox because everybody wants to lose something. Mm-hmm. So listening to those who want to lose something, or I've been stuck or so on and so forth. So the detox became a thing. So that's how I sort of started. And then used other avenues from there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you got to start somewhere, right? You get the ball rolling and then everything happens just more naturally. But the starting point, I think that's a really good point, Nicole, because I think there's a huge market for detoxing or doing a cleanse. There's a lot of weird ones out there, ones that I know I tried a lot of them before I found TLS and was involved with our company. Some that I would never, ever repeat again because I found that they were more detrimental to my health than actually helpful. And so our detox is phenomenal. And that's a really great point, is just starting with, hey, Now, did you do this kind of thing? Like, did you do, hey, I'm detoxing, want to join me? Or did you just offer a solution? How did you do that?
Well, a little of both, because again, people look at me and have that stigma sometimes.
Right.
So they don't want to hear, because all they're going to hear is health food. So sometimes I sort of listened to what was going on, or I said, you know what? I heard some people are doing a detox, but it's an eating detox. It's not a no eating. So when people hear that
Ah,
sometimes, and I said, and since I like food, that's a big thing. I said, because I can't just go and not eat, so that was one of the ways I was able to bring about the conversation, whether or not they chose to do it or not. It was great to be able to make that connection and hopefully get them to connect.
oh, I love that. I love that. I always say too, you're going to eat more food than you probably normally do on our detox. But I like the way you use that as a marketing, you know, sort of hook. So that's awesome. Golden nugget right there. Um, Now, when you're coaching and following up with your clients, what are some of the ways that you do that?
Honestly, a lot of it is text, because I have people who don't do social media. So it's really hard, and they would rather text or sometimes use WhatsApp
Hmm.
to respond. So sometimes I have to set an alarm to remind myself, because I will forget to get back
Yeah.
to them. But that's what I've been doing
Oh, that's awesome. So you just set a little alarm in your calendar app or something like that to remind you to follow up.
with the individual. It's
Yeah.
easy if they're doing a 7 day, but when they're doing longer than a 7 day, things happen and you might forget. But I try to make sure they remember, and especially if it's an older client, then they're just sitting there waiting for you. so um so it that's what I've done. Text and just kind of send little reminders, or just say hello to try to remind them that, how did today go, and so on and so forth.
Right on. Good stuff. What are your go-to TLS tools that we have? Obviously, we have a lot of tools and a lot of resources. What are the ones you just know you couldn't live without?
I think the weight loss profile, I think that's really key,
Hmm.
because it allows them to answer questions. Because a lot of people will say, oh yeah, I eat 25 grams of vegetables, or some will say, what does that even mean? So it allows us to bring up conversation. So definitely the weight loss profile, whether or not they want to lose weight.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, we're going to be updating that a little bit. So that. Yeah, yeah. So that's going to be an exciting new project in the horizon. So no worries there. Well, I love that. The profile is a huge tool of mine as well. Fantastic. What is your second? Like, okay, so first one's profile, second one is.
the second one will probably be the website and the videos,
Hmm.
because there is a lot of information on there that I can either send them a link to, or tell them to check it out and read it, or go and look at the recipes, because a lot of people, food is an issue. So what recipe can you do? So
Yeah.
that's a big one. I would love to say the journal, but I know that's usually, some people don't open it. They have it. It's like a beautiful book on their desk. You have to keep reminding them to open it, but they will look at a video quicker than they would open the book to read.
Yeah, good point. Awesome. Definitely. We're kind of headed that direction with the 21st century, aren't we?
Yes.
Um, so in order for you to have, what we love to create here in our business is lifelong customers, how do you follow up with your customers to ensure they're reordering, they're staying on product? What are some of your follow-up strategies?
Sometimes it actually is the weight loss profile again, to kind of see where they are now and what their decisions are. Or I start off with reminding them that, you can detox more than once a year, and you can do other things. And is there something you need to maintain? And that's how I sort of keep them. So it doesn't feel like I'm trying to sell them something. It's really more of their decision as to what they want to do and move forward.
Right. Yeah. I love using the weight loss profile too. It's like, okay, so whatever program they've completed with me. Okay. So now you've changed. Things have changed. You've changed. Your goals have changed. Your habits have changed. Let's take the weight loss profile again and see what it says. So that is one of my favorite follow-up tools as well. So I'm glad we're on the same page there. And I love how you just asked, like what do you want to maintain? Do you want to continue? It just sounds like you ask them questions and then go from there. And there's nothing better than asking questions and listening to the answers, right? So now you obviously made a goal to become a TLS certified coach. And obviously hitting executive coordinator is also, such an awesome, first step towards that, residual income with our company. What are some obstacles or fears or challenges that you faced in order to achieve those things with our company?
Oh, wow. Consistency sometimes, honestly, consistency. Sometimes life, it jumps in and you think you have it, but it's not what you want it to be. Um, and those are the biggest ones, because whether it's consistency on my part or a client's part, it might be someone who's chosen to achieve a goal and you're working with them and somewhere along the line they disappeared. And I have to wonder, well, why is it that you're not following through? Or maybe it's a business partner that just doesn't want to do more than where you are, or doesn't want to move forward. So a lot of it is, I think, under that umbrella of consistency.
Yeah, definitely. So as far as your own consistency goes, do you set alarms on your phone?
I do for certain things, yes. And I need to do for some other things more so, yes.
Right on. Excellent. Yeah. And I think consistent when you're your own boss, that, and especially when that's something that people are not used to being, consistency is a typical challenge or obstacle for most franchise owners and TLS coaches. So it is something to overcome. It is something to, build the habit of. Is there anything in specific that you feel you did that helped you build more of a habit of consistency for yourself?
Well, I did do overviews, and I think I started to do overview consistently weekly for a
Mm-hmm.
period of time. I had a goal to do it for so many weeks first, and I partnered up with someone else and we did it together. So that was really great because we learned from each other's styles, which was awesome. So that helped with them. Now, after that cycle, now I'm going to create another cycle of so many
Yeah.
overviews so that there is consistency in that. And then just following up with people and trying to do something that's not just an overview, just speak to people where they are.
Yep.
So that is the other thing.
Awesome. So two things I see there, two strategies. A, put it in the calendar, right? Schedule things that you're going to, whether it's a business overview or a TLS overview, you're putting it in the calendar and you're inviting into it. Because once it's in the calendar, then, there it is. Now I got to put some butts in the seats, right? And number two is, it sounds like you grabbed some accountability by partnering up with someone.
Yes.
And anytime that you add someone to the mix, you have a higher level of accountability, because if it's just your overview and you're all by yourself and nobody really knows if you invited into it or not, I mean, big deal if you forget about it or you don't do it, right? And so those are two very powerful things you did there to overcome the challenge of, staying consistent. So that's excellent. As far as being a TLS coach, is there something that you feel like, you know what, this is my secret sauce. This is what makes me Nicole. This is what makes me a special TLS coach.
Well, I don't know if it's special. Those who know me well know I like food. And I say that a lot because people assume I don't eat. And it doesn't mean I have to eat the whole bucket of chicken. But it's just, I realize that because you see a particular menu does not mean you can't customize it to what you love. So there are foods from different countries that may not necessarily be listed on the thing, that if we research it, we find that it might fit. It's low glycemic index, it's a low glycemic index. It's how much you eat, how you do it, and just being creative with what you do. So I think when I'm able to reach people with the kind of things they like and I can relate to it, I think that does help people say, oh, okay, oh yeah, that's not so bad. Because otherwise it seems daunting when I sit down and mention things and they're looking at. So I say, let's start again. What do you like to do? What is it you like to do? And then we go from there and try to see where can you fit and how do you adapt.
Well, that's excellent. It sounds like you go the extra mile, which is definitely a secret sauce, to make sure that your clients are happy with their meal plan. Whether they're, is this okay, or is this, and doing the research to make sure that something is still falling in low glycemic, or how can we make it fall
Right.
into the low glycemic category. And it sounds like you're willing to do the research. If you didn't know it offhand, then you're willing to go that extra mile. So that's excellent. Awesome. Awesome. So what's your vision? What's your goal? Where do you want to go? What's next for you?
Up. Well, my goals. I do want to achieve higher levels, definitely. Um, but I really do want to create a community of people who make daily habits their natural thing, their norm. And I know that if I do venture and become a trainer, that would be an awesome thing. But
Yay.
along the way, I want to make sure that along the way, I want to make sure that I am helping people understand that having healthier habits in their life does not necessarily mean they're on a diet, and it's something that they can pass on to their families also. So it can become, so that those are mine.
Awesome. I love it. So future TLS trainer here. So exciting. Any last tips, Nicole, before we wrap up our interview?
Um, well, I do encourage people to go towards the goal of probably being certified, because it does push us to do a little more. The paperwork is not fun. I don't like paperwork, but I had to sort of print it and try to do it. And it pushed me because I gave myself a deadline. And that really did help me, having a deadline and having someone who was accountable to me remind me that you said you were going to do this was really nice, because I could see from the same page. So, and also just making that choice to do something good for yourself and your body and your health. God gave you a big, beautiful body. We need to learn how to take care of it.
That's right. That's right. We only get one. There's not an extra one in the closet over here.
No.
Um, so that's so fantastic. Thanks everyone for joining us. We have some attendees on the Zoom. I know people are watching us on Facebook, but I have to say, Pamela chimed in and gave you a compliment. She said Nicole was an awesome coach. So obviously you helped coach her through TLS, and she said, and inspired me to become a coach as well. Well, I cannot wait, Pamela, to learn from you as well. So exciting stuff from our new certified TLS coach, Nicole. Thanks for joining us. Everyone who's watching, thank you for your time, Nicole. I'm so excited to see where you go with this and achieve your goals and dreams. You seem like a very driven person. So we're happy to have you in our TLS ranks. Thanks again.
Nicole Aguades signing out. Take care.